Hi everyone, welcome to SciTech. In today's video, we'll see how to configure MI3C router. Connect the internet cable to the WAN port and connect another cable from the LAN port to your system. To configure the router, first we have to know the IP address of the router. So there are different methods by using which we can find the IP address of the router. The first method is the IP address will be printed on the back of the router, or it will be given in the user manual of the router. A simple method is to go to the network connections list and see the IP address that is assigned to the network interface card. So here our system IP is 192.168.31.228 and the default gateway IP is 192.168.31.1. So the IP of the default gateway will be the IP address of our router. So now we'll access the router home page. 31.1 is the IP address of the router. So I have typed the IP. Now we'll be redirected to the router's admin page. So I'll start the setup, agree to the terms. We can get internet from different ISPs. So some provide internet by giving a username and password, some provide internet by giving a DHCP IP, and some provide internet connection by using a static IP connection. So it depends based on what internet connection you have. So my ISP has provided me with a username and password, so that I'll enter it here. Next. So it will try to establish a connection to the ISP server. Now it is asking for the Wi-Fi name and password. So we can assign a name for our Wi-Fi. Here we have to mention the password for the Wi-Fi. Here we'll give the name that we want to set to our Wi-Fi and give a password for the Wi-Fi and click on next. So here we have to give a password for the router. This is the password that we need to access the router's home page. So set up successfully. Okay, now the router is set up and now we can proceed to the router admin page. So this is the home page. This will show information like router model number, its firmware version, the MAC address and the serial number, and the traffic statistics, what devices are connected to it, okay, and the router's CPU load and the RAM usage. So now we'll go for the settings. Okay, coming to the Wi-Fi settings, here we can enable or disable the Wi-Fi. If you don't want to set up the Wi-Fi, we can choose disable. So this is the name that we have given for our Wi-Fi network. And if you want to hide the SSID Wi-Fi name, if you want to hide the name, so we have to enable this option. For extra security, this is one step followed by we can follow to hide our Wi-Fi. Okay, and the encryption means the password. How we need to how the password is encrypted. We should select WPA or WPA2, and this is the password. And wireless channel we have set it to auto, or we can manually set the required channel. So we'll leave it to auto. And here the signal strength. So this router has 3 modes of emitting the Wi-Fi signal. In energy saving mode, the router will perform with minimal performance, means the Wi-Fi signal will be limited, and in the standard mode it will emit it will work with a moderate performance. When we put it in a wall penetration mode, the antennas will be emitting 100% Wi-Fi signal. It will be operating with maximum performance. Okay, so I don't need a guest Wi-Fi, so I have disabled it. In India, I'll choose the locale to. Now we'll go to the network settings. Here we have already given our PPOE details while finishing the setup. So it is already dialed for the connection and got the connection. So we'll check for the internet access. Now we have a successful internet connection. Here, if you don't have a PPOE, if we have a DHCP connection, then we can set it to DHCP and apply the settings. This means if your internet connection is provided via DHCP, then we have to set these settings like this. Now the router will automatically ask for a IP, request an IP from the ISP server, internet service provider server, and get an IP and grant you internet access. Or if you have a static IP connection, you can select this static IP address mode and enter the IP address, subnet mask, gateway details provided by your ISP, and after you click on apply, then you can the router will establish a connection, internet connection. Okay, so as I have a PPOE connection, I will leave it as it is. So this is the MAC address. If you want to enter any custom MAC address, you can enter that MAC address. Okay, and now coming to security. So here we can access, we can put some restrictions to the devices that are going to connect to our Wi-Fi. So we can create a blacklist or we can create a whitelist to grant access to Wi-Fi. Okay, so for that, what we need to do is first, if you want to allow only particular devices to connect to our Wi-Fi, so we can create an exception list. Okay, so first we need to connect the devices to our Wi-Fi and add the device to this exceptions list. So here I'll choose the device. This is my phone. So now I'll add this to the whitelist. So, and when I click on save and apply, only the devices that are in this list will be allowed to connect to the Wi-Fi network. Though your friend or somebody knows the Wi-Fi password, they cannot connect to the router. Okay, or they cannot have access to internet. So this is some method of extra security. Okay, so this is a admin password. So the admin password is a router password. So we have already given the password for our router. So if in future, if in case if you want to change the password, you can come to the security tab and enter the old password and enter the new password and confirm password and save, and then the new password will be applied to the router. Okay, now coming to the LAN settings. So DHCP server. So this router will have an inbuilt DHCP server which assigns IP addresses to the device that are connecting via Wi-Fi or through the LAN port. So the devices will be assigned IP addresses starting from 192.168.31.5 to 192.168.31.254. So I don't, as this is a home network, I don't use that many devices, so I'm cutting off the limit to 25, means 25 minus 5, 20 devices maximum I can connect. Okay, and the lease time, this is the time throughout which a particular IP is assigned to a device. After that, if the device is connected to the router, it will extend the time. In case if the device is not connected, it will assign that IP as free and assign it to another device. So the LAN IP address, if you want to change the LAN IP address of the router, we can change it from here. So I'll leave it as it is default, or if you have any specific requirements, or if you want to change it to 0.1 or 1.1, then you can change it and save the settings. So the router will reboot, and then you have to access the router using this 192.168.1 IP address. So okay, as of now I don't need any changes. I'll leave it as it is. Save. So the setting is changed. So if you want to, already an IP is assigned to my system. So 31.228, this is out of the range, but whenever after again I restart the system, the IPs from this scope that we have mentioned, between the 5 and 25 IP address only will be assigned to the system. So to check that, we can do a simple thing. Just go to the network, disable this network card, wait a few minutes, and then enable it again. Then now this will ask for a IP address. This will ask the router to assign an IP address. Then we'll see what IP address is assigned to this system. So 192.168.31.6. So that is within the specified range. So okay. Here we can check for the router firmware version. This router will automatically update the firmware if any newer version is available, or if you want to manually update, we can go to mi.com and mention our router model and version number, and we can download any newer version if available, and we can upload it here, and we can update the firmware of this router. So if you want to reset it to the factory settings, so we can do it from here, restore, and click on restore factory settings. So the router will reboot to the factory default settings. If you want to backup the settings, you can click on new backup and backup the settings. Or if you have a settings file and you want to restore it, you can click on restore and browse the file, and we can recover it to the old settings. So this is a language and time zone. Okay, we have applied the newer time zone. Now coming to the advanced settings. So QoS. QoS means quality of service. So if you want to limit the bandwidth to some particular devices, so we can do it from here. So we'll turn it on. So for in case if you have 4 or 5 devices connecting to your Wi-Fi network, and some devices need more bandwidth and some devices need less bandwidth. So for that we can do the bandwidth allocation here. So this is the system. So if I want to allocate specified bandwidth, so this is my computer, so I want to allocate a speed of approximately 5 Mbps. So I'll set the upload and download bandwidth limits. So the bandwidth settings are applied. We'll check the speed. So now when I have my device, check them. It will limit 5 Mbps. So here we are getting 4 Mbps approximately. So if you want to get strictly 5 Mbps, we can increase this amount a little bit and check the settings and tune it. Okay, so coming to DHCP static IP assignment. So here DHCP means dynamic host configuration protocol. This router will assign IP addresses to devices automatically. So if you want to make them static permanently, okay, in DHCP an IP address assigned to a device will not be constant. Okay, today a device may get an IP of 192.168.31.10. Tomorrow, whenever again it is connected to the router, it may not get 192.168.31.10. It's not mandatory. It will get an IP but not the same IP. So if you want to make it constant, so here we can assign the static IP assignment. So here this is my phone. I'll change it to 7. So for my system I'll assign 192.168.31.6 and my phone 192.168.31.7. so now if I click on bind, so whenever the devices are connected, it may be after 2 days or 3 days or whenever, so these devices will get the same IP addresses, and the newer devices which are connecting will get random IP addresses which are not there in this list. So this is the use of DHCP, a static IP assignment. So for some servers and some devices like CCTV, so we need this feature. The IP needs to be constant for connecting to the devices. Okay, so now port forwarding. So we'll first turn off segment relay. Now if any device requests connection to open an input, it will not grant access. Okay, so what we'll do here is only we will manually provide access for the devices that are that need a connection. Okay, so this will increase the security of our system. I will go to port forwarding. So there are some things that we need to know before allowing a port. Okay, that is for which device we have to open the port and what ports needs to be open and which protocol they use. For example, I'll show you an example. Add a rule. So name is I need to allow a rule TCP protocol. So 25001. I have a for example I have a Dahua CCTV system. So it needs access. It connects using TCP port and it uses 25001 as a port number. So the IP address of my CCTV is 192.168.31.10 and the internal port number is 25001. So where we can find these details is this will be given by the CCTV manufacturer. So different brands use different port numbers and different protocols, so you can get it from the manufacturer and allow these ports install. And also I need to another UDP port. So now I'm having UDP port. 25002 is the port number that is required. So the same the IP address of the DVR and install. So if any connection is coming to the router from the internet on port number 25001 on a TCP protocol, it will forward that traffic to 31.10, means it will forward it to the DVR. Okay, so if we create a rule like this and apply, then we can connect to the DVR and view our cameras from the internet. Okay, or you can even, if you have any custom servers running in your home and they need some ports access, you can do it like this. So first what we have to do is we have to assign a. Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe to SI Tech.